The Crescent View Hotel still rents every room, except one. Room 313. The manager says it's under renovation, but the cleaning staff knows the truth. Every Halloween night, the lights in that room turn on by themselves. Guests hear faint music from an old record player, and someone crying softly inside. The story goes back to 1958. A young couple, Clara and Henry Monroe, checked in for their honeymoon. They were seen dancing in the ballroom, laughing, the perfect pair. But by morning, Henry was gone. Vanished. Clara was found wandering the halls in her blood-stained gown, whispering, "He said he'd be right back." No one ever saw her again. Since then, every October 31st, guests hear a woman humming in room 313, the same tune from their wedding dance. Last year, a horror YouTuber named Nate Reeves decided to investigate. Tonight, he said on his live stream, "I'm spending Halloween in room 313, the most haunted room in America." His audience cheered. He had 2 million subscribers. At midnight, Nate unlocked the door. The room smelled like dust and old perfume. The walls were covered in faded wallpaper, and on the dresser sat a music box, already open. He smirked. "Nice touch, hotel," he said, and turned it off. But when he turned around, the music started again. The lid was still closed. The tune grew louder. "All right, very funny," he muttered. His flashlight flickered, and a woman's voice whispered right next to his ear, "He promised he'd stay." He spun around, nothing. The mirror across the room was fogged over, but through the haze, he saw something move, a white figure standing behind him. A bride. Her face was pale, her eyes black, her veil torn. He screamed and ran to the door, but it slammed shut. The lights went out. His camera kept recording as he stumbled backward. "Who's there?" he shouted. The music box kept playing. The mirror shimmered, and from it, a hand reached out and grabbed his wrist. He screamed again, as the reflection smiled at him. Then the feed cut to static. 3 days later, the video uploaded automatically to his channel. Millions watched it in horror. The last frame showed Nate standing beside a woman in a torn wedding dress, both smiling into the mirror. The hotel swore the room was empty. But if you visit the Crescent View and walk past room 313 on Halloween night, you might hear the music box playing again, and a woman softly whispering, "He came back for me." It was supposed to be the happiest night of her life. The guests were gone, the candles burned low, and the bride, Elena, stood before her antique mirror, still wearing her white gown. The reception hall was silent except for the ticking clock and the soft creak of the floorboards. She smiled faintly at her reflection, until her reflection smiled back late. At first, she laughed, brushing it off as exhaustion. But when her reflection tilted its head in the opposite direction and whispered, "He's not coming back," Elena froze. The words hadn't left her mouth. Her reflection stepped closer, even though Elena hadn't moved. The glass rippled like water. The candles flickered out. Darkness swallowed the room. Elena stumbled backward, her heels scraping across the wooden floor. Somewhere deep in the mirror, something knocked 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. Her reflection's eyes turned black, her mouth stretching into an impossible grin. "You shouldn't have said yes," it hissed. The room went ice cold. She grabbed a lamp and hurled it at the mirror, crash. But instead of shattering, the glass absorbed the lamp like quicksand. From the reflection side, a hand reached out, pale, veined, wearing the same diamond ring. Elena screamed, clawing at her veil as the hand gripped her wrist and started pulling her in. "Stop! Let me go," she cried. But the reflection only whispered, "You already did," and yanked her into the darkness. When the guests returned the next morning to retrieve forgotten gifts, they found the ballroom empty. The mirror stood cracked, fog swirling behind the glass like breath. And there, faintly, was the shape of a woman in a wedding dress, pressing her hand against the inside. Her eyes begged for help. But when someone tried to touch the glass, her hand moved first. Now, every Halloween night, anyone who stands before that mirror sees a bride's silhouette behind them. Some say if you whisper, "I do," 3 times, her reflection smiles and asks, "Will you stay with me forever?" No one who said yes has ever been seen again. They called her the Widow's Bride of Maple Hollow. Every Halloween, locals swore they saw her, a pale woman in a blackened wedding gown, wandering the road by the old chapel with a bouquet of dead flowers in her hands. Her story began 60 years ago. It was supposed to be her wedding day. Margaret Vale stood in front of the altar, the rain pounding the chapel roof like a drum. Her groom, Thomas, had gone to pick up her mother. Hours passed. The guests left. The candles died out. But Margaret stayed. She whispered, "He'll come," he promised. But Thomas never arrived. His car was found the next morning, flipped on the bridge, the steering wheel still clutched in his lifeless hands. Margaret never left the chapel again. They say she locked herself inside, wearing her dress for 3 days, whispering her vows over and over until she vanished, leaving only her veil, hanging midair like it was floating. Decades later, teenagers started daring each other to go there on Halloween night. Bring a camera, they'd say, and call her name. One year, 4 friends decided to film it for their horror vlog. At midnight, they stepped inside the chapel. Cobwebs covered the pews. The air was thick and cold. "Yo, Margaret," one boy shouted, laughing. "Still waiting on your groom." Suddenly, the wooden doors slammed behind them. The sound echoed like a gunshot. Their flashlights flickered. "It's just wind," one said, but there was no wind. Then a white veil floated down from the rafters. It twisted slowly in the air, like it was choosing who to touch. When it brushed across the camera girl's face, she screamed. The veil wrapped around her throat, tightening like a snake. "Help me," she gasped. The others grabbed it, pulling hard, but the fabric burned their hands. The girl's feet lifted off the ground as if she was being hung by nothing. Then came a voice, faint but clear. "Till death do us part." The veil released her. She fell to the floor, gasping, tears mixing with blood where it had touched her neck. But before they could run, the hour lit up with candles, all igniting at once. At the altar stood a bride, her dress dripping wet, her veil black with soot. "Who dares disturb my vows?" she whispered, her voice trembling like thunder. One of the boys stammered, "We're sorry. We didn't mean." The ghost lifted her hand. The doors burst open. A gust of icy air blew through, snuffing out every candle. In the dark, someone screamed, then silence. The next morning, the police found the chapel doors locked from the inside. The teens' phones lay on the altar, all recording the same image, a faint reflection of a smiling bride behind the camera. Now, every Halloween, Drivers say they see her on the road, holding her wilted bouquet, her veil floating in the air behind her. She waves softly, as if asking for a ride. But if you stop, she leans in and whispers through your window, "Have you seen my groom?" Those who answer are never seen again.